What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, another review, another dopamine high, and today we are taking a look at Star Wars The Black Series, the Jedha Trooper. Now, fun fact, the Jedha Trooper is not a Stormtrooper variant. This is just a Stormtrooper commander or captain that was, stationed on Jedha. So, don't think this is a variant. There's no such thing as a Jedha Trooper. This is just a Stormtrooper that was seen on Jedha in Rogue One. So, just getting that out of the way, that little fun fact. Let's jump right into the review. And here is the boy all in the packaging, looking like an absolute snack. I really like the color they chose for Rogue One. Something about it just does it right for me. And on the back, we have some lore and details. So, just taking him out of the box, first impressions, he comes with everything that he is supposed to come with, which is, always good. And, he comes with a handful of things, so let's dive into that. And diving into articulation first, as always, he can rotate his head 360 degrees, and he can kind of look up and down and tilt his head back and forth, which is always good to see, especially because pauldrons are kind of known for limiting head articulation. And then moving to the arms, he can rotate his arms 360 degrees, and of course he can bring them up a good amount, so that's always good to see, especially with the new shoulder armor being kind of attached to the body rather than the arm itself, hence allowing the arm to move a little bit more. He can bring his forearm up a good amount, which is good to see for elbow articulation. Always like seeing that. And then moving to the hand, of course we can rotate it 360 degrees and bend it pretty much however we want. And then moving over to the torso, he has a good range of motion in the torso, unlike the Halo Spartan collection figures. But he can rotate 360 degrees, side to side, back and forth, and all that good stuff. Love to see good torso articulation on a figure. It's just something that I do care about a lot. And then getting to the leg articulation, he can't really do a split because his armor clashes with his crotch piece, and you can get him to sit, but his legs will kind of split open the further you bring them up because of the armor clashing with the groin piece. And then moving to the thigh, we can rotate the thigh just a little bit, not 360 degrees, but a good range nonetheless. Then moving to the knee, he cannot really achieve a butt kick unless you move the whole leg, but I do think that the range of motion in the knee bend is good enough. Then moving down to the calf, we can rotate the calf 360 degrees if you really wanted to. Don't know why you would. And then moving down to the foot, you can pivot the foot back and forth and then rotate it 360 degrees for posing and balancing needs. So overall, very happy with the articulation on the Jedha Trooper. I do like what I'm feeling and seeing with him. And moving to the accessory that makes the Jedha Trooper so special, and that is his backpack. I like the amount of detail they did put on this. They have that little yellow patch. There's multiple colors. It's nothing too crazy, but it's not too simple. It's something that you can just appreciate. And of course, you can put the antenna in the backpack. It's just a simple slot, and you just pop it in like that. So that is the full backpack. And like I said, nothing too crazy, just a very nice looking design for the backpack. One thing I will admit that is a little tricky to get the backpack on for him, because you put it on like it's an actual backpack. You don't detach any of the straps or anything. But what I found easiest for me was folding his arms back and just kind of forcing them to fit through the straps, because eventually they will get there. It just takes a little bit of pushing and shoving. Just be careful, don't want to break anything. I do wish that Hasbro just made it a little bit easier to get the backpack on, whether you had to detach a strap and reattach it once it's on. I don't know, it's just something I wish they could have made a little bit easier, but overall it is achievable to get his backpack on, and once it is on, he is looking really good. And one other thing I do like about this backpack is it adds character to the Stormtrooper, and I like how we are getting more accessories for our Stormtroopers. I don't think there's going to be another Stormtrooper figure that gets this backpack accessory, but I do think nonetheless that it's cool that we're seeing a Stormtrooper figure with a new type of accessory. It kind of adds more to the army building aspect of these figures. And one thing that I was curious about with the backpack was, how does this affect the range of motion with his arms? And the only thing it affects is when he tries to bring his arms inward towards his body, the straps will clash with the arm, And overall, it's not a huge loss of range of motion, but it is there for any of those who are curious. And for our Trooper's Blaster, he does come with a DLT-19. We've seen this before. If you don't have one in your collection already, I'd actually be genuinely surprised. But because this is something we've seen already, I'm not going to put this up on the turntable and go in depth about it. Just pointing out that he does come with one of these blasters. And before we go into some in-depth discussion, I want to do some size comparisons just so you know how big he is. We all know it's 6 inches, but you know, just a visual reminder is always nice. Starting off, we do have Jazzwares Halo the Spartan Collection Halo 4 Master Chief. There's a review of this guy on the channel. If you want to go check that out after this, you're more than welcome to. Then we have Jazzwares World of Halo Infinite Master Chief. Then we have NECA's Big Chap Alien, who towers over the Jedha Trooper. Then we have NECA's Alpha Predator, who just like Big Chap towers over the Jedha Trooper. And I also have reviews about those two on my channel, so go check those out if you want to. Then we have McFarlane's Doomslayer. And finally, we have Bandai's Stormtrooper model kit, who's just an inch taller than our boy, and there's a review of this guy on the channel as well, so go check that out if you want to. So here we are at the turntable segment of the video, where I pretty much go over what I like, dislike, just my thoughts on it on general, and create a discussion so y'all can go down below and branch off from what I've said to see if you guys like it, dislike it, you know, stuff like that. So getting into what I dislike about this figure first, because I want to get that sour stuff out of the way. There isn't really nothing that I dislike about this figure. I actually think this is a really solid figure, and if there's even something to consider an issue with this figure, it would be in the backpack area of the figure, because it is a little tricky, at least for me, to get his backpack on, because you do kind of have to force and push it on. You actually put it on like it's a real backpack, and I know that, you know, they want this figure to look and feel good, but we all know that their huge target audience is children. I know there's a lot of collectors that are going to be looking for this figure as well, but children are the, you know, predominant majority audience for Star Wars The Black Series. So I'm going to pull that card, be that guy, and say, for the kids, they should have made it easier to put the backpack on. You know, it's totally not because I'm a fucking idiot or anything like that, but for the kids, they should have made it easier to put the backpack on the Stormtrooper. But that is really the only other thing I can think of that would be considered an issue with this guy. After that, we all saw that the limited range of motion in his arms when the backpack is on, we also saw that coming. It's granted to happen because now the straps are there to block that range of motion, so I don't even think that's worth, you know, docking points over. That's just something you should be prepared to deal with. But so yeah, if you do want to consider there being any issues with this figure, it would be those kind of nitpicky-ish thoughts on the backpack area. After that, like I said, I think this is a really solid figure. I have no issues with it. I think just the figure feels good articulation, and he looks really clean and slick. It's hard to mess up a Stormtrooper. Hasbro has been doing Stormtroopers for a very long time in the Black Series wave, so if they started messing them up all of a sudden, I would be very surprised. But I just think that he looks very clean. Just, you know, I think they just got him down really well, because like I said, if they started just messing up all of a sudden, that'd be really weird. So yeah. So if I have to give a final verdict on this figure, I think that this is a very good looking and feeling figure, and that there's not really any issues with this figure at all, at least me personally. I don't believe that, because I feel like the backpack is kind of subjective. Some of y'all might wish that it was easier to put on. Some of y'all might be completely fine with how he has to put on the backpack. So I'm gonna say that's completely subjective, and up to you whether that is an issue or not. So overall, very good figure, do recommend. So with all that said, that is the video. That is everything I have to say about this figure. I do recommend it, and if you did enjoy this video, a like and a subscription would be awesome. You don't have to comment because that's a lot of effort, but if you do want to create a discussion down below, you are more than welcome to. And don't worry about that bell, because we both know that shit is broken. So with all that said, I got plenty more reviews on the channel. I do some NECA stuff, I do some Jazzware stuff, Halo, Alien, and obviously Star Wars stuff. I do some model kit stuff and Lego stuff if Legos come my way. But anyways, with all that said, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next dopamine high. See ya!